Hello, friends. I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope it's fantastic. Everything here is very, very good, other than missing my kids this week. I'm supposed to have them. They're both at camp. And yesterday, I'll give you a little insight into my head, my brain. Yesterday, I was setting up and I thought, oh, I want to talk about this. That's a good topic. But I really wanted to talk about how my weekend went with the shows. And so I thought we can talk about that other thing tomorrow. Well, it's tomorrow. I of course have absolutely no clue whatever it was. And whatever that idea that I wanted to talk about yesterday, it sparked another idea. I was like, oh, we can talk about this the day after because those will go together. No clue. Didn't write them down. Put no effort, and here we are. I have no clue what it was I was supposed to talk about. And then, literally, minutes ago, I come downstairs putting stuff, and I thought, oh, I have another idea. Don't remember that one either. So, I did promise you recently, a month or two ago, I made a video about 2 experiments that I was trying just to see if they're worthwhile. One of those was licensing one of my videos to an outside kind of content vendor. I honestly have no clue if they've sold any rights to my videos. I don't know if they've made me any money. As far as the video itself goes, I have seen a few hundred views hit that video, so at least in some way, that's a few hundred views is probably 2 cents, 3 cents. They've made me a couple of pennies. I guess that's not terrible. So there's that. And then the other one was an app called Prolific, which is a research platform. People like me sign up for it. There's a wait list currently, but you can get on it. And researchers, usually college-level researchers, but you'll find all kinds of things on there. Researchers publish research questionnaires. They run them through a whole bunch of filters. You fill out a questionnaire like that, all of your interest and details about your life and all that sort of stuff. However much stuff you feel comfortable sharing. The more you share, the more likely you are to be included in research. And then you're presented with, here's a bunch of research running right now. Do you want to participate? And you select a research topic that you want to participate in, start the thing, and it's usually just a survey, and it could take, I've seen some that take an hour, but most of them are like 10, 15 minutes, and it's usually, it's vast, right? I've taken research based on favorite soda brands. I've participated in research, on how to parent children, or video game usage, or cognitive research, like, solving problems, doing economic style gaming to try to figure out how people make, decisions based on money, all kinds of stuff. I have probably done north of 150 surveys at this point, and in the account right now is just under 200 British pounds. So like $150 is sitting there. Or $250. Yeah, $250. And that's been in about 6 weeks, or maybe, no, it's longer than that now. 2 months I've been using the app. And I don't participate all that much. There are weeks when I really don't fill out any surveys. And what it seems like when you first start, all the surveys will be like, this pays 25 cents, this pays 50 cents. Which, and a lot of those are like just really 5-minute, just super quick surveys. Like, it takes longer to fill out the demographics portion than it does the actual survey. But once you've been in the app for a while, and most of those surveys have attention checking questions. Like, you can be denied the participation fund for not filling out the thing correctly. And based on your score, and it seems like however much you do, like, I'm starting to see surveys now that pay like $5, $6, $10. I got paid 20 some dollars for a survey recently. So it seems like, I don't know if this is true, but the more reliable you are as a research participant, the larger paying, more interesting research becomes available to you. Maybe that's just I'm just seeing, maybe it's just timing. Maybe the researchers are now paying more or something. I don't know, but it's pretty neat. Like, I've actually really enjoyed it. A lot of it is very interesting, thought-provoking research that has made me really question who I am as a person, or who I am as a parent, or who I am as a partner, or whatever. And I really enjoy that. So it's been fun. And I have decided. So M bought me that new camera with the long zoom lens that I wanted for shooting my kids' soccer and all that sort of stuff, or my other kids' plays. I really, really, really want the Canon 32 millimeter f1.4 prime lens for that camera. It's about $500. It's $480 plus tax, plus a lens hood and that sort of stuff. So I've decided that I'm going to build up that Prolific account, and that's going to buy me that lens. So I'm just going to keep taking surveys until I can afford the lens. I could probably go buy the lens right now, but I took my camera to Origins. I've been posting pictures of games game pictures that I took at Origins. I took it with the little f22 or the little 22 millimeter, which was a good lens, but with the 22, you really kind of have to put the camera right in front of whatever. It gets a little too close if you're trying to get those soft, cool board game shots that people seem to like. So the 35 millimeter or the 32 millimeter on that camera is like a 50 millimeter on a normal camera, 51 millimeter. And I think that would be perfect for doing board game shots, especially at conventions, and just as a general use, walking around taking pictures lens. So I really want it, but I'm restraining myself, and I'm gonna buy it with the Prolific money, and I have a little bit of Christmas money sitting in a drawer. So I don't have a clue what it was I actually wanted to talk about, but I'm glad we got to talk about Prolific. So today we do have a question from Chris. Question from Chris. I really don't like that. I don't like doing that. I want to stop doing that. Let's hear Chris's question. Let me crank the volume first, because I don't know how to do this otherwise.
Hey, friend. Hope you're having a good day. Was struggling to come up with the topic of the day, and I looked at my backpack and saw my Kindle. And I remember you just got a Kindle about a year ago, and you talked about some of your favorite fiction titles, but what's one of your favorite nonfiction titles? And the bonus question of the day, have you ever read a nonfiction title that has blown your mind or changed your worldview? As an example, I'm reading a book by Richard Hawkins right now, and I'm blown away. Until tomorrow, thanks.
I actually don't read a whole lot of nonfiction. That's not true. I read a ton of nonfiction, just not nonfiction books. Every day I read a ton of nonfiction, technology posts, blogs, that sort of stuff. But I don't read a whole lot of nonfiction books. If I do, it's probably a biography of somebody I'm interested in. And I have recently read one, and I think I reviewed it on the channel, David Lynch's Room to Dream. Huge David Lynch fan. Read that book, and it did blow me away. It didn't blow me away because I learned a lot about David Lynch. It blew me away because I learned a lot about myself. So I haven't talked to you guys about this, but I have a different community I've been communicating with on a daily basis. So David's book, it kind of details his life as an artist, not necessarily his life as a movie maker, though obviously movie making is like the biggest aspect of his art life. But what that book really taught me about myself is this feeling I've always had that I was supposed to be an artist. That's the kind of stuff that my brain wants to do. I don't want to do traditional work. I don't ever enjoy it. I enjoy doing creative work. The thing is, I don't enjoy doing the same creative work. Like, I very rarely want to repeat something that I feel like I've accomplished. And what I have learned from David's book is that that's okay. Like, as an artist, it's okay to do all of the things, whatever that is. You don't have to decide. Like when I did the woodcut last year, it wasn't like, say, in my mind, if you're going to do woodblock printing, you say, I'm a woodblock printer, and that's what I do. That's what art is. And what I've learned from reading David's book is that's not the case. Like, I can be a woodblock printer and also be a painter and a drawer and a musician and a woodworker. Like, all of the creative things are okay. It's okay to do one and then set it aside and then never do it again. It's also okay to put it aside for years and then come back to it. And that was kind of eye-opening for me because that's how my brain has always worked. It always wants to try something different or new or adjacent. And I always felt like I was robbing myself the ability of becoming good at any of them. But in reality, I think what I was doing was giving myself the opportunity to explore and to dream. And so, yeah, that book recently has been really good for me. And I have today was day 33 after reading that book of deciding to try to do art every day. And I have not been expressing that to you on this channel. I've been not necessarily hiding it, but doing art every day doesn't necessarily mean the try every day, the drawing that I did in 2020 or whatever. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm actually manufacturing art on a daily basis. It means that I am spending some amount of time each day focusing on artistic endeavor, and I've been cataloging that with a different set of people. I will bring you into that when I can. But for instance, the weird bug video I did a month ago was part of that journey, and I'm working on another one of those right now. But it'll be more produced and more purposeful. So, yeah, there you go. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends, wonderful people. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's word you should know sounds smart is millenarianism, a noun meaning any apocalyptic religious, philosophical, or social movement that predicts radical disaster, particularly at the end of the current millennium or the beginning of a new one. As they worried about the impact of computer errors of the family fortune during the change from 1999 to 2000, the Cadburys briefly believed in millenarianism. 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 Boy, was Y2K a complete dud. We were set up to wake up that morning to disaster. Did anything happen?